I really got to do something about those utensils. Anyway, welcome back to my show. I actually did something I've never done before. I went ahead and I peeked at the directions so that I could be better prepared for today. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that's what I did. And the recipe that I picked out today is called chicken, I just realized it's called chicken fried steak fingers. And it's by Lauren Miyashiro. Miyashiro. I apologize if I'm not saying your name right, but you know who you are, and I know people know who you are. But I'm confused about why it says chicken fried steak fingers though, because there's no chicken in this at all. So that's why I'm a little confused, but doesn't matter. I have all the ingredients, well, more or less. It asks for fresh chives, but I only have seasoning, freeze-dried chives. I know it would be way better with fresh chives. Also, I don't have kosher salt. You know that. You've seen previous episodes where I've used sea salt. And then if I ever happen to be out and about and I think about it, I'll buy kosher salt and then I'll have it. But I won't specifically go out and shop for it for these recipes, as you already know. It calls for onion powder. We did have onion powder. We're really good when it comes to seasonings. Most of the time we have everything that these recipes call for when they ask for specific seasonings. But for whatever reason, we don't have onion powder. So I found something else, and it's kind of like onion salt. And it's called Oh So Onion. But it's a savory blend of 3 varieties of onions, red peppers, sea salt, and garlic. Added to all kinds of, and then you add it to all kinds of dishes and it brings out the flavor. So I'm going to try that. I hope that's not a bad thing. I always say that. And for me, I think there's only one dish that I ate that I kind of thought was a little bit bland. Most everybody seemed to like it, but most of the time I enjoy eating when I cook. I guess I'm not that fussy. Although when I was growing up, my mom used to say I was fussy, and she used to say I didn't raise a fussy girl, so she didn't know why I was so fussy. But I don't really think I'm that fussy. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so let's get started. My husband has to work again tonight, and it's 5:17, and he starts his shift between 6:30 and 7. So this only apparently takes 15 minutes to prep and 25 minutes to cook. So I've already done the prep, which means I should be done in 25 minutes. That would be good. We'll see how it goes. I decided to have side dishes with this meal, of course, because we're not just going to have chicken fried steak fingers. So I'm making homemade French fries, which I've already cut up and prepared, and they're just sitting in here. I'm trying to get some of the water off before I stick them in the fryer, so that's why they're wrapped in a clean tea towel. And then I thought it would be nice to fry up some eggs. I know that sounds a bit strange, but when I was growing up, one of my favorite dishes that my mom would make just from time to time would be fried eggs and French fries, homemade French fries. And she would only do it maybe once every 2 months or something, but it was a real treat and I loved it. So I thought that would be a nice addition. So I'll just fry up some eggs, and since we're already having fried food, and everything's fried. French fries, chicken fried steak fingers, and fried eggs. So that's going to be our meal tonight. Veggie-less. But that doesn't happen too often, so. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I have everything prepared. I hope I didn't overlook anything. I'll go right to the directions, and it's telling me in a shallow bowl. I'm supposed to whisk together the flour and spices, and then season with salt and pepper. Okay, so the flour, it calls for a cup, which I've already prepared. and then the spices. So I go back to the front page and it's asking for 1 teaspoon garlic powder. I should have already had all the lids off of these. See? Not completely prepared. Grr. 1 teaspoon garlic powder. Oops. See, I forgot to put the inside back on. Done. Easy peasy. Okay. 1 teaspoon onion powder. It's not onion powder, but I'm sure it's yummy. All right, 1 teaspoon of onion, oso onion, or oso onion. That's done. 1/4 teaspoon paprika. I like paprika a lot. I would add more because I like it that much, but the recipe doesn't call for more, so I'll be a good girl and follow the directions. 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. All right. Oh, another dealie that I have to remove. 1/2 teaspoon. Ugh. I don't really like the smell of it, but whatever. I don't think that'll make it very hot. Some kosher salt, doesn't say how much, so I'm just gonna guesstimate. That's good enough. Freshly ground black pepper. We actually do have a grinder, and I always use the pre-made peppers, so maybe I should do freshly ground for a change because we do have the grinder. So I'm gonna grab that and I'll be right back. See? And there's my, you can probably hear my guy, my little boy, I mean, playing video games in the background, like usual. That's what he does every Sunday. Let me see. Doesn't say how much. Just calls for freshly ground pepper. There you go, freshly ground pepper. First time I've ever done that. Okay, so I'm supposed to whisk that. Obviously, I haven't gotten my secondary camera set up yet. I got paid, and then I forgot to buy a card. So it hasn't happened yet. Sorry. Pretty nice. I don't know if you can see that very well. I do believe that's all I have to do in a shallow bowl. Whisk together flour with spices and season with salt and pepper, which I did. Set aside 3 tablespoons for gravy. We got this. And we'll do 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons for gravy. Okay. I'll just put this over here for now. Okay, in another shallow bowl, whisk together milk and eggs. And it's calling for 3/4 cup milk, but I leave my milk in the fridge. I don't like it to sit out at room temperature, so I'll grab that and I'll be right back. All right, we have the milk, 3/4 cup, like so. Now I need to put this back. Look at the stray hairs in my hair. Stray hairs in my hair? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so my eggs I've stuck over here because they'd just be roly-poly all over my table. And I didn't want that. So I'm gonna mix my eggs and my milk. Oh, I almost splashed myself. I'm getting a little bit better at cracking eggs. Still need work though. I have paper towels close by now. I learned my lesson. All the other times before when I had gooky hands and then nowhere to wipe them on. Oh, and I got a clean whisk. My yolk doesn't want to break. It broke now. Alrighty. Okay. Season steak generously with salt and pepper. Here's my yummy strips of sirloin steak. Because at the beginning of the recipe, under ingredients, it calls for 1.5 pounds of steak sliced into 1/2-inch thick strips. And this is top sirloin, so it is going to be tender. And as I said, season steak generously with salt and pepper. Okay, it doesn't say that it has to be the ground pepper. So I'm just going to use regular pepper. I'm going to wipe my hands off again because they're full of little steak guts. Good steak guts. I don't know about me. Anyway, okay. Generously. So I'll do this side first. And then with the salt. Uh-ohs. I guess I'm supposed to use... I don't know. I'll just use sea salt anyway. Whatever. It's better for you, isn't it? Than regular table salt. So I'm going to turn these guys over. Jeez, he's loud. You know, my son isn't upstairs. He's downstairs in the basement. And the door is closed, and I can still hear him yelling at his video game. He's loud! Anyway. Generously! I'm being very generous. Just like I was told. And pepper. This is making my nose tickle. I want to sneeze now. Okay. Now what? Working in batches. Dredge? Uh-oh. Dredge. Dredge steak thoroughly in flour mixture to coat. I don't even know what dredge means. I don't even know if I've heard of that word before, dredge. So I'm just going to assume that I just stick the steak in the flour and then just like coat it really well. And they call that dredging? Interesting. I don't know if I should put it all in or just a little bit at a time. I think I'll just do a little bit at a time. Working in batches. Oh yeah, it just says working in batches. I just answered my own question. Dredge steak thoroughly. So I'm just going to thoroughly cover it in this lovely little bit of flour. Like so. To coat. And then dip in egg mixture. Just dip it in egg mixture. And then return the steak to the flour mixture and dredge some more. That means I'm going to have to take this out and place it somewhere before I dip it into my egg, right? Because I can't put it back in before I've dredged the other steak pieces. So I'm going to take these out for now and put them on this paper towel as a holding spot until I'm finished with the other pieces of steak. And then I'll dredge these guys. And if you can hear that little clip, 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 clip sound right now, that is my dog. So in other videos, you might have heard that in the background. Click, 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 click. I just want you to know that that's my dog's little tiny toenails on the linoleum floor. So he's always hanging around. Always hanging around. I think I'm his alpha. I seem to be the one he listens to the most. But, okay. So now I'm supposed to dip it, a hair meal, in the egg mixture. And then return steak to flour mixture and dredge some more. Okay, so I'm dipping it, return to flour mixture. Dip in, flour mixture. But then where do I go from here? I wonder. Oh, I hear a car door. I wonder if that's my husband coming home. And he's gonna expect supper to be ready already. I'll be like, I'm sorry, honey, it's not ready yet. It will be before you go to work, though. Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm gonna do this again. Ew, it gets really slimy after you put it in the egg mixture. Huh. I hope I don't mix those up with the ones that haven't been dipped in the egg mixture. Because it's kind of hard to tell the difference until you feel them, and then you can tell which ones are which, because one is slimier than the other. Yep, that's Daddy. Okay, so I'll dip these and then stick them into the flour mixture. And then I can probably, I don't know, I probably should have been preheating the frying pan or something while I was doing this. Because it doesn't tell you to do that in the directions. It doesn't say anything about preheating. Hi! I'm sure they can hear you opening the door. And making the dog sneeze. I'm a little behind, but it won't take long. It only takes 20 minutes to cook.
Okay, thank goodness.
Well, apparently, according to this, it's 25 minutes, but whatever. Thank goodness you said.
Doggy's gonna go. Out you go.
Thank goodness. He wants to eat. That's funny. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wash my hands. See? Here's the cookies. And get my fries started so that the fries can be ready at the same time that these chicken steak fingers are ready. Okay, I'll be back. Ugh. Silly utensils. Okay. Now I've got my fryer on the go, so when that gets hot enough, I'll be able to stick in the fries. You're a loud doggy. You make lots of noise. He's like 12 years old. But he's not old. Like, he's a Pomchi. You've seen him in other videos. And I think their lifespan is between 17 and 20 years. I don't know. So he really is just over half his lifespan. And he's in really good shape. He doesn't really have a whole lot wrong with him. I mean, he did have some urinary stones that he had to get removed not too long ago that were in his bladder, but other than that, he's got nothing wrong with his eyesight or his smell or his taste or his energy. He still looks like he's a puppy. Anyway, we're not here to talk about dogs. Okay, in a large, deep-sided skillet over medium-high heat, I'm supposed to heat a 1/2 inch of oil until shimmering, so about 350 degrees. How can I tell when it gets to 350 degrees? And what is shimmering? I have so much to learn. This is a lot of guesswork. Okay, here's my oil. Calls for vegetable oil. All I have in this house are 2 types of oils right now. I have virgin olive oil and I have canola oil. But I do believe I can use this to fry these steak fingers, so let's hope so. 1/2 inch it says. All right, 1/2 inch. I'm gonna say that's about 1/2 inch. I can understand why it's supposed to be deep-sided, because if it splatters, which I'm sure it will, it'll get all over the place, and that can be hazardous. I was once told, I always talk about the things I've been told but don't really have any facts on. But you know, a lot of people I know what they're talking about. At least I think they do. But I was once told that if you ended up with an element fire, that you would take flour and throw it on top of the flames and it would put the fire out. I've never had an element fire. Well, that's not true. I did once, actually. It was a small element fire. But all I did was take a metal lid and I extinguished the flames by covering the entire element and then reduced the amount of oxygen and the flames went out. But I was told flour works. I don't know how much truth there is to that. I remember my dad had not an element fire, but the frying pan. He was using a cast iron frying pan on the stove when I was probably in my late teens or mid-teens. And there just happened to be a door off our kitchen that went directly outside. So when this frying pan caught fire, instead of covering it up or throwing flour over it to extinguish the flames, he grabbed the frying pan and ran through the kitchen, opened up the door, and it was in the middle of winter, threw open the door, threw open the screen door, and then threw the frying pan into the snowbank. So I don't recommend that. I was once told, there I go again, that that could be dangerous for many different reasons. I don't recommend doing that, but yeah, he did, and it worked. And the house didn't burn down, so I guess that's what matters. So I'm just waiting for this to start shimmering, whatever that means. Because apparently once it gets to 350 degrees, which I'm not going to be able to tell if it is or not, I'm supposed to use tongs. My tongs are gone! No! I'll find my tongs. And I'm supposed to, one by one, put the steak strips into the shimmering oil and cook in batches until completely golden, and apparently 2 minutes per side. Then I'm supposed to drain on a paper towel lined plate. Okay. Awesome. I'll go find my tongs. Okay, so my fries are frying. And I found this meat thermometer. I think you're only supposed to stick it in meat. It says do not put in water. So I don't know if I should test to see how hot my oil is. Is that a bad idea? Will it wreck it? I don't want to wreck it. Otherwise, how am I supposed to know when my oil is ready? It doesn't look any different than when it started. How am I supposed to know what shimmering is? What is shimmering? Grrr! Anyway, well that's well that's getting to where it needs to get. Well, I don't want it to boil. And it is doing this kind of like ripple effect on the top of the oil. Maybe that's shimmering. And smoking. Why is it smoking? That must be coming from underneath the element again. Oh my gosh. I thought that I did wipe the element down, and I actually changed the liner. Maybe it's dirty underneath the liner. I actually have to wash the element tray. It's possible. But I don't want the smoke alarm to go off. It's going to become a regular occurrence on my show. So I'm going to get really loud and turn the vent on. Talking about element fires. I don't want one. Well, it doesn't look, if I take it away, the smoking stops. So I'm wondering if maybe there's something spilled on the bottom of the pan that's burning. Seems to be calming down, so one at a time. 5:49. Alrighty. You know what? I'm thinking the temperature must be right. Seems to be cooking just nicely, frying just nicely. 2 minutes per side. I think I'm going to be able to stick all of these in there, which is nice. All right. Until 5:51. In the meantime, I'm supposed to, in a small skillet, frying pan, whatever. Actually, it's not even. It's like a small pot. But it's asking for a small skillet. Over medium heat, I'm supposed to melt 4 tablespoons of butter. I got flour all over my butter somehow. Okay? You know how much I like butter. I'm not even going to measure this. So, I'm stuck in lots of butter, which I'll probably end up regretting later on. Or maybe not. I'm supposed to melt that. So I'm going to melt that right now. Smells really good. It's loud in here. I've got 1 more minute and then I can flip it, fry the other side. You know, one thing I didn't do is put paper towel on a plate and get that ready for my steak pieces when they're done. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay. 5:51. Let's turn those over. I think I put in a little bit too much oil, to be honest with you. It only asked for half an inch, but it's pretty deep. But I mean, it shouldn't matter, right? As long as it's frying the way it's supposed to, I guess. So we'll finish with this. It's still melting, because it says in a small skillet over medium heat, melt butter, whisk in reserved flour, and then cook until golden. And this isn't finished melting quite yet. Ew, doesn't smell good like I thought it would. Okay, so I'm gonna whisk in the butter. Alright, that's done. And I'm supposed to like cook that for 1 minute. And then I'm supposed to add some more milk. Like 1 1/4 cup milk. And my other 2 minutes on that side is done. Ah! I'm making a mess. So I'm supposed to take out the steak. I hope that's cooked long enough. But then again, you can eat like medium rare steak and stuff like that and not get sick. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Did cook for 4 minutes like it said to cook it for. So that should be alright. And then this is bubbling, so I'm going to quickly grab my milk and I'll be right back. Alright. What did I say? 1 1/4 cup milk. Alright. I have a little, grab the wrong one, 1/2 cup. Because I only have 1 cup of milk. Like what I mean, that didn't make any sense. I only have one cup, measuring cup. And I don't have time to wash the dirty one, so I'm just using 2 1/2 cups to make 1 cup, plus 1/4 cup. Now I'm going to put my milk away. Alright. So, gradually whisk in milk. Oh, whoops. It would have helped if I read that before I just put all the milk in at once. Anyway, gradually whisk in the milk and bring mixture to a boil. Alright, I'll turn the temperature up. So I'm supposed to reduce the heat to low after it's boiled and simmer until the gravy gets thick. And then I'm supposed to stir in the chives and then season with salt and pepper. I want to keep my steak strips from getting cold, so I'm going to find something to put over top of those to keep them warm. Well, hopefully that lid over top will keep them warm long enough. I'm thinking I should have started on the gravy maybe a little bit sooner. I don't really know, it doesn't say. In the order that it has written here, it tells me to make gravy after I've drained the chicken steak fingers on a paper lined plate. So I'm doing it in the right order. So maybe it'll stay warm long enough so by the time the gravy's ready it'll be fine. I guess we'll find out. Oh, see how my fries are doing. Oh, my fries are done. Are they ever? Just done. All right, we're just gonna let them sit and drip. I just dripped all over the floor, by the way. Got grease all over my floor. Anyway, this isn't bubbling yet. It's not boiling yet. Woo! Oh my gosh. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. I am so scared to go near that. My fryer is making loud banging noises and the lid is bouncing off the top of the fryer. I don't know if that's normal. Maybe I should take the lid off. I think so. That scared me. It takes a lot to scare me. I don't get scared easy. Okay, maybe that's not true. Maybe I do. Guess it depends on what it is. But that scared me. Anyway, I almost overcooked the fries, but I think they're just right. Oh! And now my gravy is boiling. Gotta pay attention here. I'm not supposed to turn this down and simmer. And now I'm supposed to stir in the chives. I think it's 1 tablespoon if I remember correctly. I can't even find them. 1 tablespoon of chives. Okay, this is a dirty tablespoon. I should have another tablespoon. I should have had 2 tablespoons here. Why do I only have 1? It's clean now. All right, these aren't fresh, but whatever. They will have to do. Okay, so we got the chives in the gravy. And then I'm supposed to season with salt and pepper. I want my regular salt. I'm gonna go get my regular salt. I'll be right back. Ta-da! All right. Hopefully that's enough. I never know. Maybe I should try tasting it. And then just add more if I think I need more. And then if I go, oh, yucky, I added too much. Well, too bad, so sad. I guess that's why you only add a little bit at a time. So, hey. I think I'm learning something. Well, this gravy is really thick now. Just the way it's supposed to be, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna taste test it. I've never done this before. I don't like it. Needs more salt. Okay. And I'm gonna grab a little spoon to mix that up. Be right back. And I'm gonna try this again. This time I'm just gonna stick my finger in. I'm getting this to taste thing. See, before I've never ever pre-tasted my food before. Ever. Ever. This is actually not a bad idea. You'd think I would have learned this sooner, right? But I guess maybe I'm a slow learner. A slow learner. Okay. One more taste test. Ugh, it did that thing again. It made sound. I don't even know if you caught that. My fryer, my French fry fryer makes funny noises. I think that's it. We're done. I'm gonna put all this together, feed the family, and see what they think. Later, Gator.
That's gravy?
I guess so.
So that's special gravy made for this. They're called Claw Daddy and Hurt Him. Anyway, those are called chicken fried steak something. I forget what it's called.
Nice.
I forget what it's called. That's terrible. Chicken fried steak fingers. I remember now. That's what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're good?
Mm-hmm.
See, I was just gonna make fries and eggs, and then I thought, no, you're always saying you want meat. So I was like, okay, let's find a meat substitute.
Oh, so good.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he likes.
Like it.
Okay, you're not judging the fries or the eggs. You're only judging the chicken steak fried. You like them?
Very good.
What would you give them?
8. Mm.
Wait, why can't you give them
Okay.
Mm.
Why can't you give them
Okay, Jared, you're supposed to dip your chicken fried steak fingers into your gravy. It's a special gravy. It's supposed to taste good with the steak.
Stop now.
You don't know? Still trying to figure it out?
Yummy.
An 8, 9, or a 7. Well, probably 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
That's pretty high. Okay, now it's Jamie's turn. Okay, so try your steak, your chicken
My chip.
fried steak finger.
Is there any meat in there? Like
Yes, steak.
bone?
No bone.
How's there no bone?
It's boneless. It was sirloin steak that I used. Boneless sirloin. Sirloin. So you dip it into your sauce.
Ew. What is that?
Steak.
It's steak.
Oh, steak? I like steak.
It's surrounded by batter.
Yeah.
I love.
Well,
Try
you
it.
sometimes like steak. It depends on how it's cooked.
Can I try it with ketchup and give it?
Well, just dip it in and take a bite. Dip it in your sauce and take a bite. Yep, just dip it in. Yeah, and then just take a little bite on the end and see what it
What is
tastes like.
that?
Mom, the only thing I don't like
What
is
is
the
that?
sauce.
It's sauce. It's special sauce for the steak.
Holy, I gotta go work there right away.
I don't really like the sauce.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, you don't like the sauce, but what do you think of the steak?
The sauce tastes good.
I get used to it because of my stuffy nose.
Right.
I can't really taste it.
Oh, because you're congested. So you can't really grate it, can you?
But if I didn't have a stuffy nose, I think it was good. So I did give it like 5. No, not 5. Close to a 10. Like.
Take another bite. I need you to take another bite because I don't
This
think
was
you
a
know.
big nut bite. I just need to know the number.
I just don't like the sauce.
All right.
Oh, it smells good.
Mm-hmm.
Dip it into the gravy.
First white gravy I've ever seen.
No wonder you like it.
Yummy, yummy.
Really good. Really, really good. It says to cook it for 4 minutes, roughly 2 minutes per side. But I bet you I could have done it for 1.5 minutes per side, and then it would have been
Even more tender.
more melt in the mouth kind of
Yummy.
response. Response. I didn't mean to say response. I meant to say result.
Oh, Daddy! Daddy!
It's good.
Daddy!
It's good.
Daddy!
I'll make it again.
Yep.
Daddy,
Sounds
record
good.
me!
What is
I
wrong
give
with you?
it a 9 out of a 10.
So you'd eat another one.
Maybe.
You know, Mark?